let's get this party started.
There is an increasing use of antidepressants in the U.S., with about 30 to 35 million adults having taken an antidepressant during any given year. We start with one treatment. If that doesn't work, which is true in 70-80% of patients, then we go to the second treatment. If that doesn't work, we go to the third treatment. There isn't a brain or a blood test available to decide which patient should get which treatment. Our study is a large NIMH-funded trial that really tried to understand this from a broad
What will you design today?
And it included 300 patients.
A big idea.
This first
a new
report
opportunity.
Is from our study in looking at
the
electrical activity in the
With
brain
Canva, you can. Start designing for free. Canva.com.
This looks at brain activity.
How much of this crazy volatility, I know your rates, not equities, but how much of the whole thing
elevated
do you
activity
attribute
in that
to the
region
Fed? Are they behind the curve?
High likelihood of response.
I attribute a lot of that to the Fed and the Fed pivot. There's been this, just over the last few weeks.
You lack purpose, Mason Robot. You have purpose, and I could watch you with a heart rate monitor and an EEG machine.
Is that their
I'd know
base
everything.
Because as of the December dot plot, the Fed was only talking about 3 hikes. The market's pricing in 4 hikes this year. Are they going every meeting? That's 7 hikes this year. So I think the Fed has injected volatility in the market. Now there is economic volatility, but I think what the Fed's suggesting is they are behind the curve. How much more are they going to go? They're also talking about the balance sheet, and I think the
Your
Fed
heart rate
may view the
monitor
balance
just turned
sheet
into the
and
Hawk
rate
and
hikes as
radiation
sort of
background.
equivalent tools. The market
Volatility
really
index.
cares a lot about that balance sheet.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the beauty on that Denzel Washington is we know as the index, they use it as the EEG machine. They tell you, we can put Denzel Washington here, doesn't matter if he's an actor.
And it showed effectively the stock market in the U.S. and the Fed balance sheet over the last, I think it was 5 or 10 years. And they were spot on. They were so correlated that it was almost impossible to tell them apart. In other words, as the balance sheet grew, the stock market grew with it. How much of that deleveraging should concern our audience?
So, as on an academic basis or even from some sort of Fed policy perspective, there's no direct link because the Fed pumps reserves in the system. The reserves are held by the banks, and the banks don't buy stocks. But there is absolutely a link, and I think the link comes from real rates. So if you look at long-end real rates, they've risen significantly. That's why I think we're seeing that deleveraging. I think these real rates have more room to rise.
Whatever you guys
If the Fed
figure
wants to
out
slow
for that,
things down, they want to tighten financial conditions. Remember, every hiking cycle, that's the aim. So it's not an unintended consequence. I think the speed of it, maybe too much. But the real rates, we do expect long-end real rates to rise, and that's going to
what are you
tighten
going to
financial
say to me?
conditions. It's the speed that we're all sort of grappling with. So
Fed?
I think there's more volatility in
I
store
have a
because
lecture
the balance
about my
sheet
Jamal
does drive
bracket.
those long-end real rates much more than rate hikes.
Mark, your take on the Fed, and also talk to us about rate hikes and markets in
around
general,
every
because
once
I
in
know
a
we've kind of
while,
been conditioned
square it
to
up
think
with a
that,
terracotta
rate
army,
hikes bad,
make sure
rate
you're
cuts
done.
good. Stock markets have gone up in history when Feds
Or
have
it's
been raising
adjusted
rates
to what they're
aggressively.
going to be doing in the region,
1994,
please.
1995, one of the best years for the Dow in 95 came off a
Well,
2.5%
the difference is
move
the
higher
operator
by the Fed
schizo
funds rate. What's your correlation?
is science, not magic.
The same way to the extent
Especially
that,
when you have some of
see a bit
this.
of market volatility,
And death
just the
row,
Fed is gonna turn,
a few other things
the
that
other
I'm not
direction
going
relative
to
to
bring
this
up
kind
the
of
board
very
today.
easy monetary policy
This
we've seen for long.
being bored.
But I think the main
If
reason
the
is that equity
question was,
markets
what is
typically
6-7
doing well
grooming
is that the
policy
Fed
to
is
our
only
standards?
really
I
hiking
wonder
when
to
we have
the
a relatively strong
EEG,
economy.
depression,
That's what
and
we're
the...
looking at. So we're looking at a U.S. economy that's like
Ah.
close to 4% this year. Financial conditions are very easy. Corporate earnings are still growing
that's
at a solid
what
pace.
it is.
So
It
it's
gives
still
you
a
all
good
the frame
environment
rates.
to be
If that
an
is
investor.
one
But of course, it's
visible
creating a bit of volatility,
result that
just as
is
the Fed is
graphable
in
by
the other
the manifold and geodesic hypercube and
Your clients are
string
going to want to
theory
own
here.
stocks. They may change the kind and style of stocks they own, Mark,
So,
but they're going to want to own stocks. And we're
again,
down.
who
Let's
would...
keep it at like 10%.
The reality
Let's
is,
keep that in mind. We are still
as much
well
as
up
Peacock over here.
year over year. What are you advising your
Battle buddy.
clients to do right now?
So we're certainly advising our clients to
we're going to have different Andromeda, Archer
portfolios in
paradoxes,
equities.
Raven
We have a
paradoxes of
sector
what
view
that is, but in the end of
favors
it,
energy first and foremost,
there was things about contractual models, the first moves that certainly had to be there for the house on tax along games that is pretty much got to be a fashion monster here. Usually, again, because somebody's not doing it for you to cover it, and then they give you the ear test and you clearly failed it, but they run you into the ground, and now you got frostbite because you didn't hear some sergeant.
But there are significant parts of the market that I would even qualify as being cheap.
Comes live on you right there for results over seasons. And well, to the uniform, not just these guys out there picking win off each other in operation, but go figure in the long haul here.
Hitting the road? Not all 5G networks.